Welcome into episode 143 of About the Cards podcast, live tonight on YouTube. As always, with me host Stefan Loeffler at Junk Wax Twins.
Oh, hi.
Ben Wilson at our trading cards. I'm Tim Scheffler, Big Shep 79. We are a podcast by collectors for collectors. So I'm going to bring you a smart and insightful podcast, custom trading card collecting. We're live every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Pacific.
10 Central.
On YouTube, Facebook Live, and Twitch. Follow us on Twitter at About the Cards. We're available as a podcast anywhere and everywhere you can find a podcast. Check out the website, aboutthecards.wordpress.com. We have a very, very special guest in with us tonight, Nick Wasika, at Nick_Wasika on Twitter, the famous photographer that's always getting in plays. Steph sent me a pic or a video of you getting slammed by the boards a couple weeks ago.
Yep.
And they came right at you. That's pretty awesome.
Yeah, it's I think I've been hit by a puck, a ball, had to punch a soccer ball all the way out of a way, and of course a free safety. So
yeah,
after you take that route, you're pretty much bulletproof. But
yeah, I remember watching that game live. I was painting my daughter's bedroom, and I'm like, rewind that, and it's Nick just boom.
Yeah,
that's good times.
Yeah, then your phone blows up, and like, guys, I get it. I know I just got smoked, and I got a job to do. We'll work this out later.
Oh, outstanding.
Well, see, and I figure that's why the occasional message during a not quite as explosive play,
right,
lightens the mood.
Right. Like the other night when you asked about the puck.
Maybe. There's one that was deflected right off the glass and landed 10, 15 rows behind you and over a section.
Right.
Something to that effect.
Yeah, it was pretty cool though, because walking into the game, like they're allowing 200 people into these games at the X for the Wild games, and it's usually friends or family members of the staff, right? And they're up in like the club level, so they're way up high. And I'm walking in and I see this gal that my wife works with, and I hadn't seen her in a while, a teacher friend of hers, and she's with her son, who I haven't seen in even a longer time. He's all grown up now, and we chatted for a while, and I'm like, hey, if I get a puck tonight, I'll bring one up to you, because I'm the only one down there. Like, if I don't get one, there's something wrong. And that's what happens. That like literally 37 seconds into the game, I see them guys look up at my camera, they stop, and then I hear a little, it's like 4 rows behind me. One got the puck, and then brought it up to the kid in between the second and third period. So that all worked out.
That's cool.
That is really, really awesome. It's been a while since we've had you on. And so what have you been up to? I mean, we've seen, I know I was excited because when we had Series 1 came out and this week Series 2 pops out, we had Chris Carlin on. Mm-hmm. And you actually had a video that came out of you watching us opening the product and talking on the show. And I'm like, oh man, like we're super famous now, but tell us, what have you been up to?
Yeah, just basically with the NHL up and going again, and, just shooting and covering as many games as I can. It was super tough because like we had written all these sort of treatments for what we wanted to do for season 2 of the card show. And, let's go to New York with Lafreniere. Well, at that point in time, there was a 10-day quarantine for New York, and the Rangers and Madison Square Garden sort of limited the amount of photographers they were going to let in. So I'm not going to go sit in a hotel room for 10 days and leave my wife a single mom, so I can go shoot a hockey game. So then we were going to pivot to LA, and then LA really didn't work out either. So like all these things that we sort of had planned for season 2 are just like, no, COVID, get it. And then all of a sudden, Kirill Kaprizov happens right in my backyard. And it was just like, oh, yeah, I don't have to travel anywhere. Access is great. He's an exciting player. And it was from there, just get the photos in. Cards come out. Today, I honestly believe I feel like these release days for me, it's a holiday. I pulled Cooper out of school at noon. Because the way it works is we go get the case right away because we got to get the Kaprizov card for the raffle, right? And I called the school, and I tell the gal, I'm like, hey, I got to come get Cooper at noon. What's the reason? Well, I sort of filmed the show, and he's part of the show. And she goes, well, that sounds educational, and it's excused, right? Like, well, we're actually just going to open hockey cards. Well, she goes, that sounds fun too. and excused. And then Cooper, he comes out and we're driving home, and he's like, "Yeah, they said I was going to go film a TV show, and when I left, the whole class started clapping for me, like they're just famous because he's going to go open hockey cards with his dad." I'm like, "Well, not quite," but there was a news story on this whole bit with the Kaprizov card here in Minnesota, and it aired last night, and a couple of kids in his class had seen it, and they were talking about it today. So like, Cooper was going to be famous and on TV, so it was pretty cool.
No, that's awesome. Pretty awesome. So yeah, give us a little background on the news the news story that they did on that for you.
Well, it was just the Aaron Goodyear, who put the piece together, is a buddy of mine, and I just sort of called him. I'm like, "Look, here's what's going on. I got this Kaprizov card. The photo's mine. There's going to be a huge demand for it, especially here in Minnesota." He's like, "Well, let me call my director, or his producer, or whatever." And he's like, "My guy loves it." He's like, "How did you even get this story?" Like, my bonehead friend called me to talk about himself, and then that's just sort of how it happened. But he came out, followed me around for a game. We did the interview, and then he went to the shop because we always, with the LCS, Absolute Sports Cards and Savage, we did the release for Jack Hughes last year, and it was crazy today. Like they had 7 cases. The event ran from 5 to 7. They were down to 2 cases. I walk in, the guy's like all panicky. Clinton's like, "We only have 2 cases left." I'm like, "What?" Like, they ended up doing a lottery for these last 2 cases, and it was just sold out. But that was everywhere. Like, there's a 3-Star Sports Cards in Bloomington, not far from us. They had 9 cases. They sold out in 2 hours. So, I can only imagine. That's here, and you're looking online all day. There's lines out the door at these card shops for Series 2. It's really cool for a hockey product to do that. Like, you haven't seen that really since like McDavid, so. Mm-hmm. But the best part of all of this, so I had my hockey kids come, right? And I was at, because you guys know how it is, supply and demand, the price went up on these cards. And I'm like, well, I want to get these kids into a hobby, but $170, $160 is a little steep for these kids' first box, right? So the guys at the shop, they gave the boys a little discount, the boys and girls that play hockey, a little discount. They threw in the penny sleeves and top loaders, but I made the kids give them a password to get the discount. Want to know what the password was?
Sure.
Wu-Tang Forever. So I had all these little kids rolling up to the counter going, "Wu-Tang Forever."
That's awesome.
And then they got the discount. So like, it was really cool. That was my favorite part of the night. To get these kids say Wu-Tang Forever.
So with Kaprizov from the Wild, where do you rank him, like, as far as like a popular or is a hyped young gun over the last handful of years? I mean, because we've seen a lot of guys. We had Jack Hughes last year, Alexis in Series 2. You've had McDavid in the past.
Right.
Where does he rank?
I would say the most in-demand rookie of this class, even from Series 1 and Series 2 this year. Like, Series 2 is completely loaded. I think, Chris Carlin had mentioned it last time on your show. This, like, you can buy a case of this and put it in your closet, for 5-10 years, and you're gonna do all right when you decide to break that out. It's a heavy rookie class. Kaprizov, he's just fun to watch. He's like so creative, like. And people ask me all the time, like, "Oh, he's so fast." I'm like, "He's not really fast. Like, he's not McDavid fast. He's not Barzal fast. He's quick. His first 3 strides, really good, but it's like his agility, and it's like the flight pattern of a drunken bumblebee, right? And he like just woo, 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 but he's in control the whole time. So I think that's what makes him really exciting. As far as like where he ranks, Time will tell, but like, you're seeing the sales on eBay right now. If he continues this with the production that he's doing with the points and the highlight reel plays, like I remember like, I don't know how much hockey you guys watch, but like, I remember very early on, like with Patrick Kane, every time he like touched the puck, there was like this, what's he gonna do? And that's sort of like the same thing. Like Kaprizov, like even when he doesn't have the puck, like you're watching him, like it's sort of that feeling.
I know Ben and I not big hockey guys, but I know he can relate here in Sacramento when we had Jason Williams, White Chocolate here.
Oh, yeah.
Whenever he would get that ball and he would start streaking down the court, it was like, okay, what's going to happen now? Yeah, so I understand that, and I love it because I love seeing a team like Minnesota gets somebody right. They have this kid that everybody's watching and looking after, and I think it gets more eyes into a team maybe that it's not as well or as popular, as some of the others,
Right.
like McDavid going into the Oilers, right? They have a really long history of winning, and that, so it's really good to see, I think, more eyes. And yeah, I'm excited to go, and I'm going to try to pick up a box or two tomorrow. I just couldn't get out today to do so. So I'm hoping there's some left and to open it. And because it's, again, I'm such a nerd for that, the rookie card being the best and coolest card out of the box. And that's what I think this set provides. So that's outstanding.
Well, and he's not wrong either. I mean, it's not so much the shooting ability of Ovechkin or McDavid. It's the vision on the ice. Seeing. Sorry, I nudged the camera. Seeing, hey, I've got people here. Is he going to chip it down the boards to me, or do I need to crash the net because it's going to pass to the blue line and then a shot in where I can deflect it? And he's already seeing that ahead of the play.
Right. Yeah, it's a lot of it's anticipation. Like, the best hockey players on the planet know what to do when they don't have the puck. Like, there's a reason Gretzky and Crosby, like, they knew where the puck was going before it was going to go there. Like, and he sort of has that knack. And, it's going to be fun to watch for the years to come, for sure.
Definitely. Well, and I mean, so Minnesota to Minnesota, Gabrick, maybe the only better player.
Like, Gabrick was like your true speed, like, goal scorer, right?
Sure.
Where Kaprizov I see more as a dual threat with his playmaking abilities, like these spinorama pat. That's like, white chocolate on skates. I think that's the best way to sort of describe it for those people that don't watch hockey. Is he kind of Jason Williams is? And now that I think about it, like, looking people off, spinning around, like, it looks like he's falling, but he's actually making a pass. That's right off his tape. So, yeah, it's exciting.
So you open,
just the natural ability to drop a pass from between his legs or from behind the goalie, or pulling the goalie because he's done a wraparound a couple times already, so the goalie has the tape on that, but then chipping it up right in front, and the goalie's caught off guard, and a puck's going over his shoulder.
Right. No,
it's just electrifying to watch.
How much Series 2 have you opened?
We opened a case. So I get a case because we always raffle, like with Jack Hughes. We had to get the Jack Hughes card, and as soon as we found the Jack Hughes card, then we the rest of the boxes in the case go to prizes. So we had one case, and I don't know if you guys saw it. I'm like, just to make a little silly game out of it, I had people guess, because it was my brother Chris and Cooper and myself. I'm like, guess who gonna find it and in what box, and if you do that, I'll send you a prize. So we had people guessing all day, and it ended up being box 11.
I think I said box 7.
Yeah, and then I remember I know, like, one of the hockey kids is like, Cooper, box 12, and I'm like, oh, good Lord, I hope not. Because, like, I'm sweating bullets. I'm like, I'm gonna have to get a redemption for this thing. This is not a good look. Like, I gotta have the card there for the drawing and the raffle and all this stuff, and then it's always Cooper. Cooper is always gonna pull it. Like, he pulled the Hughes, he pulled this one. So, and this was cool too. This was a buddy of mine. This is Cal Olson. I played hockey with his dad, went to high school with him, and he had hit me up like a week ago. He's like, hey, me and my son are coming in hot from Matamidi. It's like, 45-minute drive. And I was actually on him with the video camera, and he pulled the damn thing. Like, it was awesome. Like, the whole card shop went wild. Everybody's patting him on the back. And he's pretty new to collecting, and he's like, Dad, this is like I won the lottery. So it was a pretty cool moment.
Oh, I love that. So that's a memory that will stick forever.
Right. Yep. Well, and then he had the hot box. There was like, he had a French version in there. There was a Canadian Program of Excellence card in there of something. Nice. I'm like, take your dad to the gas station, pick 6 random numbers, and tell him to go into the dollar. It happens.
Yeah. Right.
How many cards did you have?
I haven't even had time to look.
Take a look.
Yeah, because normally, like, I'll sit there and watch breaks, but it was a whirlwind, because it's grab the kid from school, then wait for my brother to be late, and then I got to go pick up Piper from school and then get her ready for dance, and then my wife comes home. Like, I haven't even really looked yet. Like, ripping through to find this Kaprizov. So
Yeah,
You have at least one.
yeah.
that's outstanding. You're gonna hang out with us, right?
Yeah.
All right, awesome. Well, let's get into it. The week that was last week's releases. Topps Living Week 158. We had card 397, Anthony Rendon, third baseman of the Los Angeles Angels, and card 398, Nick Madrigal, rookie, second baseman of the Chicago White Sox. Again, no updates on the numbers. And we also had 2021 Topps Inception baseball drop last week. So we had.
I gotta ask: is it Rendon or Rendon?
Rendon is the popular pronunciation.
Rendon,
but
yeah, I like that. I mean, you have the veteran guy, big free agent last year, and you have a young rookie that's hopefully going to do some things for the Sox. So I just wish we could get the card pops before the show, but you can always check out Cardboard Stats. He's pushing out those numbers once they pop up. So
thanks, Tom.
And then hot off the presses, this week's new releases. Topps Living Week 159. We had card 399, Adam Wainwright, pitcher, St. Louis Cardinals, and card number 400, Yogi Berra, Hall of Fame catcher, New York Yankees. And we have a checklist for cards 301 through 400. So it's a 3-card a week this week. And those checklists, I think, are going to be the most sought after at some point in time because they've had some low print runs. And, the Yogi looks a lot better than his Project 70 card did, let's just say. But not a bad week. You have a longtime Cardinal who's a very popular team. And he's been very popular in St. Louis. And a legend in Yogi. Some of the best quotes ever. My favorite Yogi card, 1987 Topps, Houston Astros team card, where he's on the mound.
Calling to the bullpen.
That was a good card. All right, 2021 Upper Deck Series 2. We've already talked about this a little bit. Dropped today, about $180 a box, give or take, depending on where you are. 24 packs a box, 8 cards per pack. You're going to get 4 UD Canvas, 4 DU Portrait Rookies, 6 Young Guns, and 6 O-Pee-Chee updates. It's a 250-card base set with 50 Young Guns, being the last 50 cards of the set. Base parallels include French, hobby exclusive clear cut, exclusives, and high gloss. The Dazzlers, which debuted in Series 1, are going to get 50 more cards in this release. They also have something called box fillers. It's done on a plastic sock, and the theme here is Hockey Enforcers, both current and past. And those are extremely tough pulls, landing 1 in every 359 packs in hobby. The Tampa Bay Lightning get hockey cards for their Stanley Cup celebrations with Day in the Cup, and those are 1 in 1,000 packs. Rookie photo shoot flashback materials. They go back in time to players who participated in past versions of the rookie photo shoot. And they also are going to patch version of that. O-Pee-Chee is one of the first sets out each year, and the main release isn't able to include debut rookies. So that's Rubber Deck Series 2 comes in offering new cards, not only for fresh debut vets, but on their new teams, but also 50 cards have been added to the checklist. So pretty cool. That Marquee Rookies, it's pretty sharp. I like that. Well, lots of good stuff coming out. Again, you can find autographs in here, but they're not guaranteed. And again, it's one of those things like, I guess you're after the 6 Young Guns to see who you picked in some of the parallels. And those Dazzlers, I think I liked them. They looked, the ones I got out of the 10s I found here from Series 1 were really, really good looking cards.
Well, yeah, and definitely they were amongst my favorites in the set. I mean, sure, canvas are nice. The canvas cards are nice. I love the card stock, but also the photos are better. It's kind of like a base card versus short print effect going on. But yeah, no, the Dazzlers are great. I love seeing them back. For Tampa Bay fans, all 3 of you, you should love the Day with the Cup series. And I like that they brought back fluorescence and its multi-parallel whatnot. What I'm not looking forward to is how many packs it's going to take for me to get Mr. Kirill, and whether I'm going to chase the clear cuts and whatnot. But should be fun. Well,
how many boxes are you going to go buy, Steph?
Well, I have one retail box on the way. Personally, I had better luck with retail single packs. One, they're not limited here because they said the 3 sports.
Yeah.
So
that's still at our target too. I'm like NBA, NHL, NFL. I'm like, what the hell, man? But,
right. So no. I mean, I racked up probably 8 or 9 tins and at least 100 or so single packs for Series 1, and that's probably do about the same. I wish we'd get a 10 cover athlete, but hey, maybe next year.
Well, all I know is my friend Denise, her and her son, and her cousin and her son opened a bunch of retail for Series 1, and they crushed it. Doing the loose packs and the 10s and the blasters or the value boxes, I think they were, or something. So she's all excited because she's like, oh yeah. And I was like, hopefully you can see the retail. I mean, the hockey doesn't fly off here, but who knows at this point, because I think everybody's buying everything and just, looking to make $1 and they're going to feel good about it. But they're going to, like, hey, here's a blaster of Heritage for $2,500. You want to buy it? So, no, I'm excited though. Like, I really hope that I can swing by and get a box or 2 tomorrow and open it. If I do, I will try to do it live so everybody can hang out.
And actually, speaking of Series 1, we couldn't find any Series 2 in the wild while we were on our trip, which, yes, I am back from Ohio. Didn't find much retail for that matter. We did get some Magic, and her mom had some cards for us from the 90s basketball. But I did get another Alexis from Parkhurst.
Nice.
So
it was rolling in it, huh?
And even then, it wasn't the base. It was the silver parallel. Fancy.
That is. Coming out also today, 2021 Topps opening day baseball, $60 a box, 36 packs of box, 7 cards per pack. You're going to get 36 inserts. The 220 card base set, which is 20 cards larger than past years. It's like greatest hits. I like what Cracknell said here. It's like greatest hits from 2021 Topps Series 1 with some previews of players held back for Series 2. The design is nearly the same as Series 1 with the addition of the opening day logo. Short print image variations return, similar to base cards, which switch up photos on select cards. They are also significantly more scarce. Mascot cards are also back for another year. Baseball Legends offer a look at the game's history, potentially teaching some young collectors or new fans about greats from the past. There's also an outstanding opening day. As usual, for those looking for hits, opening day isn't the best place to find them, but it's one of the few products that doesn't promise autographs or mem in every box, but there are. Memorabilia themes include opening day relics, Major League momentous relics, and diamond relics. They're also new Turf War diamond relics. These are a double-sided card that have players from opposing teams and dirt from the home player's stadium is embedded in the card, which is pretty cool. I always thought those dirt cards were pretty neat.
They are. A good friend of ours here pulled one. He let me play with it because you can actually move around the dirt too. It's really kind of cool.
Interesting.
And the short prints are crazy.
Yeah,
if you pull a short print out of this, you could do quite well on the secondary market.
The Walk This Way, the dugout peaks, specifically the dugout peaks over the last couple of years, have sold extremely well. If you can catch one of these in the $25 to $30 range, you're probably doing well.
Somebody needs to pull that for me.
Talking about Legends of Baseball Kirby Puckett.
Yeah.
I do see Brett's on the list. And by the way, he's card number 5, so much respect there. And Ricky Henderson's on the list, but they didn't make him card 24. They put Mike Schmidt as card 24.
Yeah, no, Ricky and Reggie are on there. The inserts, opening day is a solid set, but if you think that it's made for kids, you're not correct. Like we were saying, some of the short print inserts are extremely expensive. The image variations can $15-20 easily. There's at least 2x 3x on the image variations against if we comparatively speaking against Series 1 and Series 2. But it's a fun rip, and it's fairly inexpensive. But again, without a guarantee of an auto or relic, you're gonna go in and with the last few years when these were $25-30 a box, they were nice. If they're going to be double that, it's probably an easy pass. Did we lose Tim? Tim was having internet issues prior to the show, so we can move along after opening day. I don't have the list in front of me. Steph, do you have it handy?
Yep. Just typing up a message for chat. So next up, 2020, 2021 Panini Absolute Memorabilia. Basketball, $500 a box, 2 packs per box, 5 cards a pack, so 10 cards for $500. Chef, we move to Absolute
two autographs, 2 mem cards. I love my internet, by the way. Thank you, Finetti. 100 card base set. Tools of the trade signatures are one of the key parts of the product, featuring key rookies, and they have 3, 4, or 6 pieces of gear. It's just not jerseys either. There's also basketball and hats. One on the relic side, there's a jumbo basketball and jumbo hat cards. There's also a Dollar Tree release, and I didn't see much more about this besides in the parallels. When you look at the base cards and the parallels that were listed, it says Dollar Tree. So I'm assuming that there aren't any hits or anything in there, but it's going to be a lot of the base cards with a Dollar Tree parallel. I mean, I don't get too excited about $50 a card, but you can get 4 hits.
That might thin out the herd at Target if they're all going to Dollar Tree now to stand in line for.
So funny you mentioned that. We went to Target earlier today, and because why not? We were getting Chick-fil-A anyway.
Wait, it's Whataburger Wednesday. What are you doing?
Whataburger was last night, unfortunately. We were both too tired. We just ordered it.
It's Taco Tuesday. You're messing everything up here.
I know. But no, so we'll pop in at Target because there's one right by our Chick-fil-A. And we see a Target employee, not a vendor, chasing off some people, saying that, hey, unfortunately, either you guys can't just wait in the store all day long. The vendor will no longer be coming by every single day, and our managers will no longer be selling out of the back. You guys have to wait Friday at opening.
Wow.
I'm just going to sleep in the Target.
I've been in, I go to get something else, right? People actually opening cards on the hood of the car. It's like fiending out. I walked in one time, dude, just scale right there. I'm like, you're just weighing them, huh? I'm like, what are you doing? Like,
act pervert.
Yeah, I wanted to just film them, put on blast. I'm like, I don't want to get punched just for making a joke out of this, but it's unreal. It is unreal.
So they looked dejected because they couldn't buy out their blasters that nobody else would have been able to get. And I left with 2 packs of Series 1, including this one of the green foil numbered to 499s.
Those are ridiculously beautiful in person, and the orange as well. But the effects on those are really cool.
Right? Let's see if I can get a better photo.
Yeah, but to your point, Nick, when you have people that are literally buying anything on the shelf and then they're posting on social media, what am I looking for? We've seen it with Parkhurst. We've seen it with soccer.
I can't wait for it to be opening day.
Right.
Yeah. if I'm going to go in there, let's say I go to a Target tomorrow and I see Parkhurst or I see Series 2 hockey, because you might have some stuff in there that, there's a personal connection to that.
Right.
Or it gives me something to kind of, open with my sons and then let them kind of have at whatever I don't want to keep if you pull something cool. But you're basically spending that $20 bill like you would at the Chuck E. Cheese for,
Right.
The difference is now you're getting, a stack of cards versus, a blow whistle and a piece of Laffy Taffy. But when you're opening up with that mindset of, okay, I saw it the other day. There was a young lady on Facebook, and she had the wherewithal to pull a Fernando Tatis out. Mm-hmm. But she didn't know what the SS meant on the front of the 86 tops, right? And my thought was, okay, she's learning, and that's okay. We all nobody knew what SS meant any more than LF and whatnot when we were young. Mm-hmm. But you have this adult who obviously has the financial ability to purchase this at $20. She knows damn well who to pull out. It wasn't like she picked some random, like I'll use an A, like a Mark Canna, right? And what's this LF mean? Okay, that's a legitimate person trying to learn about the sport of baseball. Right. Now, what's the SS mean? Well, it's awful convenient that short print starts with an S. Just as somebody looking at it, my thought was, she probably wonders if an SS is something that's unique, more expensive, along the lines of a short print. And yeah, you have these people that are just buying to buy. Right. And we've seen this for a long time now, and it's frustrating for a variety of reasons, and it's laughable. And there's a lot of people that are going to have financial issues moving forward if they continue to do this, because you're going to buy the wrong product and you're going to get stuck with it. Our good buddy James Kitkowski, Philly Puck fan, said he saw a guy unload a ton of Parkhurst, $900 worth of blasters. And he's like, what are the odds of you getting? I said, okay, I'm naive or, not educated. Right. I said, best case scenario, you open it all up. What's your best return on that? And he's like, $250, $300. Right. If everything drops right.
Maybe. It's very much an opening day product.
Yeah. Right. And you're buying this stuff as if it's, optics and the prisms and stuff that probably does have a strong sell-through on the secondary. And it's just incredible. And people are lining up. One guy's like, I'm at Target. I'm hanging out all day, stocking the vendor. That's basically what he said. He goes, what do I do to kill the time? And I'm like, get a job there.
Right.
Get a job.
Well, I walked in the other day and the vendor was there, and it was like Top Series 1 had just come out. And it's all these mega box and the stock shelf, and there's 7 dudes just staring at it, but they're all on their phones. And I know they're going through like price lists. I'm like, I want 2 boxes to open with my kids. See ya. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I go make all my other things I need to get, and they're still there. Nobody's grabbing anything off the shelves. They're just scrubbing through their phones. Like, why are you even here?
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't know.
Right. Like get educated before you go do it, or ask. But I don't know.
Well, it is. My favorite is the Hot Wheels guy. I went to pick up Robbie a couple Hot Wheels one time. He's pulling them all off into his cart, and then he's scanning the barcode on the back and looking them up online. Oh. So I just reached in the cart and I grabbed a handful and just walked away.
Right. What are you going to do?
Like, what are you going to do, man?
Cart shopping.
Well, it's also a little different, Tim, because you're a very tall and imposing figure. If I did that, he'd probably elbow my temple. But no,
is big.
I'm at the Toys R Us years ago when McFarlane dropped one of their Hall of Fame collection, and it was McCovey and Gwen, and I just wanted one of each because I was trying to get the whole run. Mm-hmm. And the guy's like, yeah, you can only buy 2. And I had 5 of them. They were different. So what do you mean I can only buy 2? And we went back and forth. He goes, because, you're probably going to go online and sell them. And I'm like, I literally have a checklist here, dude.
Right.
Of which ones I have on paper.
And I have a checkbook.
Right.
And I'm like, I'm not trying to hoard these. I said, I'm literally just buying one of each. And I said, if I have to, I'll go get my wife. And so he's like, you know what? Fine. Just go through the check, and one of each is fine. But I get it. It puts him in a very precarious position of, and these guys that are stocking vendors now where you can only get 1 or 2 blasters. It's like, let's assume that you sell this thing at 3X. Let's call it a $40 profit, and you get 2 of them. $80
Right.
How many jobs will pay you $80 after taxes?
Right.
Legitimate, where you don't have to deal with the nonsense of fighting other dudes or ladies in the hobby
or not selling the product.
Yeah, getting stuck with it, selling it literally on your lap. I can't tell you how many times I've seen dudes laps on Facebook. They're lapping their steering wheel. And it's like, hey, $65, and it's like, dude, I don't want to see your ripped jeans, and I don't want to see your lap. I don't want to see the back of your trunk either. I don't want to see your soccer cards while your fillet of fish garbage is sitting in the passenger seat. I don't need to see that.
Dude, I'm just thinking of Michael and all. How many fillet of fish did you eat?
Right.
Yeah.
Do you guys see that anytime soon? Like,
no. I don't see the reason being is that if you look at hobby boxes, I mean, we're talking about these boxes and the prices that they're going for. If you can go in and buy a blaster for $20 and get a taste of it, the collector is going to do that because they know that $150, $200 for a box of Series 1 baseball of Topps baseball isn't really where I mean that's an extreme, right? But if I can get one for $20, yeah. But then to see the blasters and stuff going for 40 and 60, there's people now justifying that because it's like, okay, well, it's still less than the inflation on another box, and it's still under $100. So I guess that's where I need to be to open product, and I don't like it. And my theory is, if there's something specific you want to go after, and you're going to spend, say, $100 on 2 blasters, hoping to get that card, most likely you could take that $100 and just go buy that card.
Right.
And so but it sucks because you don't get to open the product, you don't get the other stuff, you might hit something great, but you need to take all of that out of it and look at the end of the day, what do you want to end up with because you open that product? Right. So it stinks. It really does.
Yeah, and for me, it's just time with my kids, because we do that together and it's fun and all that bit. But you're looking at these baseball, like Gypsy Queen's going to be $200, and I'm like, all right, we're going to get a box, because we each get one or this and that and the other thing. It just, I don't know, it's tough, especially.
It's scary to me,
right?
And that's very much like a $100 product. I mean, I get that it has 2-3 autos, whatever it's up to now, but that's not anything more than that.
No, it's $100, maybe $125 product all day, and like Chrome Baseball, I think is pre-selling like $600 a box.
Bowman,
that
with one auto,
yeah,
come on,
we have a couple other new releases.
There's not one product that you can name right now that would convince me that your average rate of return is 70% above on the average box. None. You have such the escalators on this are so huge. We're not talking $10, $20. I mean, I had a friend show me his distributor price list and the markup over the last 3-4 years, and we're talking 170, 160. It's like, other than something like Pro Debut, which has been pretty static for the last couple of years, but most people aren't collecting Pro Debut. No offense to that product. It's a minor league product. It's got its place and niche in the hobby, but that's not what most people are after. And that's why it's been static, because if people are buying this up, obviously that $400 case is now $700 or more. Right. There are a few low end products that have kind of stayed the course, but I mean, if you're paying $200 for Gypsy Queen, tell me which box you're going to get, unless you're pulling something super sweet. That checklist is super small when you're talking about that now. It's getting to the point where if you want the set, buy it off of some fool that opened up a lot of this product and is trying to get his money back. You'll buy the set for $30. Mm-hmm. Maybe a little bit more if you're trying to get the short prints, assuming that those come on the back half of that checklist. Buy you the inserts you want, and the amount of money you're going to save is tremendous. And then you can diversify that and add other things to your PC. And if you want to speculate with some of that money, now you've got a lot of free money as opposed to opening up a box and looking at this going, where did I get $200?
Right. But it's you miss out on that rush and the fun of the nostalgia of ripping packs and like, oh, getting excited about this and that. And,
it sucks. I love ripping packs as much as the next guy, and I haven't really done it since 2012 because there's just no value in it. And I can't see spending that money to get a bunch of stuff. I mean, I can find homes for Royals cards and Twins cards and Red Sox cards, but at what cost? At $200, I can buy everything I want from Gypsy Queen and then some and build parallel sets and have a much better PC as a result. And I'm doing it on somebody else's dime. I mean, I'm still spending the $200. I'm just doing it differently.
Right.
And it's not the same when I get a big eBay mail day. I know what's in there, relatively speaking, right? But at least I know once I'm done opening that, it's 100% of what I want. Period. End of discussion. There's never something I don't want.
My biggest pet peeve right now in the hobby isn't the price of, it stinks of retail, but it's watching people open up boxes or cases of whatever product it happens to be, and they're looking for the big hit, and they don't get it, and they're just like, what, like I just spent all this money, and I just, it's like, dude, like those don't, they're not a dime a dollar, like, and the people that quote prices that, like, you see these quick videos, like on TikTok, on the news, it's like, oh, you can buy a pack for $10 and get a card worth $100,000, or hey, this Fernando Tatis rookie card is going for $5,000. Well, yeah, that's a Gem Mint 10 parallel, number to 99. It's not the base card, and that card's not coming out of every pack. That it's a limited quantity. That's why the price is there, and so. To me, it's like people don't understand or realize that not all of his cards are $10,000 cards,
right?
But everybody says that because it sounds real good. Like, hey, yeah, this card sells for $10,000, but when it's perfect and it's numbered to 6,
well, and a lot of times it's not selling for it as much as it's being asked, and a lot of times you have people that are not in the hobby, these people on Bloomberg and local network TV, oh look, the trading card hobby is booming and stuff like that, and they almost give the TV guide synopsis of a girl and her 3 friends go on an adventure and kill a witch. It's like, yeah, okay, if you want to dumb the Wizard of Oz down to that little bubble, sure. We've all seen those TV guide synopsises or on this episode of such and such TV show, this is what's going to happen.
For those that are, what's a TV guide? TV Guide was a book that came in the mail during the, olden times that would tell you when shows were on, so you could set your VCR, which were these big tapes.
What's a VCR?
Yeah, we got to.
The TV Guide slid under the Reader's Digest alphabetically.
What's a phone book?
Yeah.
That's the thing Angela sits on the drive.
Oh, that's the end of Steph. We have a couple more new releases to hit, but before we get into this has been a great discussion. I love it. And there's going to be a few more. I think we'll be able to add to this discussion here momentarily. But we also have 2020 Panini Encased Football, $800 a box, 1 pack per box, 5 cards per pack. Do the math real quick there. You're going to get 1 BGS graded autograph, 1 additional autograph, 2 mem cards, and 1 Ruby parallel. Somewhere in there, you're going to get base cards. Many of the cards have on-card autographs, the rookie endorsements, and rookie notable signatures do. And then superscribed signatures will have the veterans. There's Hall of Fame signatures in the Canton inductees release. There's rookie cap patch autographs and rookie quad memorabilia that have 4 swatches. So, yeah, no wonder BGS is they're upgrading brand new cards before and putting them in boxes. Yep. So there's another really high-priced football product, and then we also have 2021 Topps Heritage Baseball dropping Friday. $150 a box, 24 packs per box, 9 cards per pack, 1 autograph or mem card per box. It's a 500-card base set with the last 100 cards being short prints. It's the 1972 design. And I think our buddy Gregory Gay got a quote in Crackdown's article saying to talk about the tombstone, it's a psychedelic tombstone look. which is pretty accurate. There are minis, which are partial parallel that don't exist for every base card, but they are numbered to 100. There are some hobby-only parallels, the black borders and flip stock. Also action variations. New for 2021 are missing star variations. They simply remove the star icons that flank the team name on the front of the card. So that'll be fun. There's chrome cards again, 100 of them. So it takes 100 base cards and gives them a chrome parallel. There's refractors, black, and hobby. There's also gold, which are found in hobby only, and super refractors of those. There's also the purple hot box refractors. Love those. Those are coming back. There's the real one autographs. Those are on-card autos, and they're basically the same design as the base cards. And they also have special edition versions numbered out of 72. Those we'll have ready. Of course, you're going to see your Clubhouse collection relics back. And they're also going to drop in some original 1972 tops with a foil stamp, noting that it was an original card. And then they're going to have 50 box toppers, all numbered to 1,000. That will blow up a base card to a larger size and be on the top. So I always love Heritage, but I didn't see it when I put this together. I didn't see the checklist yet, so I didn't look to see if all the short prints were all the stars, like in past years. We talked about that where when you looked, it was a lot of the big time names were removed, all the short prints.
Scrolling down for them.
Oh, Shed Long. There we go. Dwight Smith Jr. Lance McCullers just got a big deal. Rich Hill. Chris Sale. Jorge Polanco. Mitch Garver. Clint Frazier. Josh Reddick. You know what? This doesn't look too bad because, Vic Robles, okay. Whit Merrifield. Logan Webb. Jason Hayward. He's still playing. Blake Snell. Oh, Jordan, card 500. Ty France, who everybody loves all of a sudden. So, not too bad. Right? And look, number 1, world champions like they did back in the day. First card, too bad it's a double.
As it should be done.
Check out Ryan Cragnell's article on Beckett.com/news for more details on all these new releases. We'll probably get into Heritage a little bit more next week as it comes out on Friday. And we're all going to probably be interested a little bit in that. So what's brewing next week's releases? 2021 Prizm Basketball. God only knows what that box is going to cost you. 21 Topps Definitive Collection Baseball and 21 Topps Gypsy Queen Baseball as well. Infield Chatter, a Hobby Talk section of the show. Mickey Mantle is back home. Topps tweeted out, are you ready for this? Topps proudly welcomes Mickey Mantle back to the lineup. So he had his family had signed an exclusive with Panini for a handful of years, and Topps has brought him back. What do you think about Topps bringing Mantle back into the fold and getting the license again to issue cards and such with his logo or his image?
Should I say what you said initially?
No. That's why it was said in a private chat.
No, I mean, so look, everyone loves baseball cards better when they have the logo. I personally loved Panini's licensing agreement, both with Mickey, but also Kirby Puckett and a couple other major guys, just because it was a little bit more affordable to get relics of those guys. I don't mind the logo.
Did you just drop Kirby Puckett in the same line as Mickey Mantle?
They also acquired his license this year. If I could think of another person, I would mention them. But yes.
There's no reason to have player exclusives. There really aren't. But yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I'm glad Mantle's back. We were very vocal about what Topps was going to do with the Derek Jeter contract, and we were absolutely right. Mickey Mantle is going to be Derek Jeter on steroids. You're going to see Mickey Mantle's face and image and name on anything and everything. You're going to start seeing, you've got the Muhammad Ali one going on right now. You're going to see a Mickey Mantle one coming up soon. Obviously, all of the artists are going to start dropping his stuff now in Project 70. We're going to see an overabundance because they've got to justify whatever they paid the Mantle family for that contract, and it's going to get stupid. And then as soon as you think it's been too much, it's going to get stupider.
Do you think he's Topps loading 450 or 500?
That one I
don't know. I think they
behind.
may. Yeah, I hope he's 536.
That one.
I want to wait that long.
There's going to be a lot of Mantle stuff that'll be great, and there'll be just so much that it's going to be watered down. But yeah, the Topps Living one I can definitely get behind.
Oh, I'll buy it. I don't buy many outside of the rookies or Royals or Giants, but I would buy them. I'd buy that Mantle in a heartbeat. I think they're going to do so much with it. It's going to get obnoxious, like you said. I think the online only sets, and they're just going to shove those down our throats like left and right every day, or Topps Now, or Topps Look Back, or whatever they're going to want to call it. So,
right, you get a Mantle, and you get a Mantle, and you get a Mantle.
Yeah. Flagship at Sports Card Addict tweeted out: do you consider Topps Chrome to be quote flagship? There's 182 votes, and this did not go the way I thought it would. 38% said no, and 72% said yes. I mean, that is decisive.
Did you say 38%, or did I mishear that?
38% said no, and 62% said yes.
You said 72%. I was.
Oh,
I just figured it was one of those like I'm 110% not the father. Like the
yeah, you are the father. No, so yeah, it went completely. It's not. It's a variation.
It's a parallel.
Of the Flagship.
That's all.
Yeah,
it's parallel. It's Sapphire. Opening day is a parallel of Series 1. It's an independent release, but no, it's not Flagship.
You know? By extension, those things you just mentioned would be Flagship. You know,
I mean,
if you follow this,
you're a player collector, right? Let's say Whit Merrifield, right, Tim? Garrett Hampson. Yeah. Okay, Garrett Hampson. He's got a card in Series 1. And then he's got 14 listed parallels in Series 1, right? And then he's got opening day, and let's say he's got another 5. And then he's got Topps Chrome, and he's got another 10, right? You all of those outside of the base card are all parallels, right? Opening day, Topps Chrome, all of the colored parallels within all of those sets are all one-offs. It doesn't mean that they're not part of the Flagship run. You know, Topps Chrome update in Sapphire, it's all the one-off.
Yeah, if Topps
it's one card is
a
the
different
Flagship
design, it came out first. If Chrome had a different design and came out first, it would be something different. But it's
just a parallel, and it's also how Topps gets around the maximum amount of releases that they can sell each year. That's why they break up Chrome as a second set, because they literally, can sell it off. Just like when Sapphire came out, we're like, how do they get another set? It's a parallel set. It's not the same as Flagship, and that's how they can manipulate the numbers in their favor and have 73 releases a year when they're only limited to 37.
Well, and it's interesting that people forget what the word flagship means. That's the company's main best, its flagship model. So if you were to say Ford, you'd probably say either a truck or a Mustang. If you were to say Dodge, you might say the Challenger. Topps, it's flagship. Chrome isn't flagship.
Yeah.
I joke occasionally that Update and Opening Day are part of flagship, but they're not. It's Series 1 and Series 2 until they decide to bring in Series 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
What was the question? Do you consider Chrome Flagship? Is that how it was worded?
Correct.
The exact question was, pull it back up here. Do you consider Topps Chrome to be quote-unquote flagship?
So maybe I don't know. You could look at it like it's Chrome the flagship, and whatever Series 1 and Series 2 are is something else. You know, like based on that wording.
So you get into this convoluted gray area of rookie cards, right? And we have a lot of fun on here with a lot of different rookie cards, but what is the true rookie card of a player? Because Bowman comes
51
first.
Bowman.
And, just because it comes first doesn't necessarily mean it's the rookie card any more than something being old makes it worth more money. Otherwise everything in an antique store would be thousands of dollars just because it's old and musty. Yeah, there are a lot of PRCs, there's a lot of XRCs, and we've come to accept that. But Topps Chrome is a parallel set to the Flagship, even if it's a smaller checklist. Not everything has the same parallels on checklists. I mean, generally they all have the shared parallels, but not all the time. They don't. Sometimes the short prints don't have the same run of them, and you get this truncated checklist in certain parallel sets, and that's fine. But it's not Flagship. Flagship, and at the end of the day,
doesn't matter.
Collect what you like. I mean, if you prefer that, Bowman Chrome is more desirable than Bowman Paper, and oftentimes Bowman Chrome is more desirable than Topps Flagship as far as rookie cards go. Topps Chrome is more desirable than Flagship. Cool, but that doesn't necessarily mean that it is Flagship just because it's the same picture.
So this takes us in. Which design do you like better this year of Flagship products, Topps or Donruss? Both designs look very similar, and I wanted to pull up and get your guys' stuff. You want to share the photos there of which design do you think did a better job this year with.
I can just grab a card random here.
Well, I saved photos in there so you could click on them. All right, hold on. I mean, look how similar they look, though, right? Both they have the nameplates all at an angle. They have, some striping to them. I don't know. I think they both have white borders. Someone's breaking into someone's car. But which one do you guys prefer?
So, wrong one. Personally, having opened enough boxes of both, I like the simple design on Donruss.
I prefer the back of the Topps for sure.
Sure, there's more detail, more text. But yeah, this would be my go-to. Front and back of Topps.
And the simple fact that we're having this conversation comparing Donruss to Topps Flagship is all we need to know about how crappy the Topps Flagship design was. I mean,
I was stunned about how close they looked, and that's why I kind of wanted to bring it up tonight because they look so very similar. I don't think we've seen that in the past.
Donruss is better, in my opinion. It's a sharper looking. It's a lot cleaner, and I think that's going on. And I think that's because you have high hopes for Topps Flagship, and Donruss is just that's what they do every year in, year out. It's the same thing, I mean, it's a nice, clean design. Whether you like it or not is up to you. But
and I personally love the '87 design. Mind you, this is the Relic parallel, but I honestly thought I was expecting more on the bottom. It's just a blank white splotch with the team name, player name rather, and then the '87 reminiscent back. The only thing I'm slightly disappointed on, the card number isn't printed in the baseball.
Those relics though are extremely clean looking. I was a little when I saw the McGuire, I was like, of course I was going to buy it, and then I got it in person and it was more impressive. Whereas it's just a nice clean card for being a white border with a white swatch in there. Mm-hmm. And to each is their own. I know a lot of people don't like Donruss for a variety of reasons, whether it's the license or other things. But
okay. I saw this today. So here's the Alec Baum rookie from opening day. So first of all, you have the rookie cup
There's
It's
so
up
much.
there
Where
underneath
do you
his
want me to
hands.
look, Tops? Like,
Right underneath, you have the opening day logo. Below that, in the bottom left corner, you have the rookie logo. In the bottom right corner, you have the nameplate and the team logo. I mean, there is so much going on in
the
this
top
card.
logo on the top left.
Yeah. And, it's just like, dude, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 elements, pictures, text, information on the front of this card. It's crazy to me. Like
this looks like an office. This looks like an office birthday card that you're filling out, and you've got 18 people that need to say happy birthday to Sally over in accounting, and the card is only yay big, and the first 3 people that signed it wrote her a paragraph, and then by the time it gets to the other 15 of us, we've got to squeeze our name in there. That's what that card looks like. It's so damn busy.
Steph, is that miscut or is that just me?
No,
it's
the way I'm holding
illusion.
it. So rated rookie logo, Donruss logo, player name, team. That's it.
And you can read his name. Imagine that.
Yeah. Interesting. Yeah. There is a new cool eBay feature that is coming out beginning in late April. Sellers will be able to scan their trading cards using eBay's mobile app for iOS and Android to create listings in half the time. The new selling tool will support Magic the Gathering cards at launch and expand to Pokemon and Yu-Gi-Oh! In May, followed by sports trading cards and other collectible card games later this year. How it works: the sellers can use eBay's new image listing feature by following the simple steps. Open or download the app. Start typing start your listing by typing the name into the search bar. When prompted, tap to search with your camera. Point your camera, take a picture, scan the card. It will pop up with all the details filled out for you. Tap the correct or closest match to the pre-populated listings with all of the card details. Add the photos, card condition, price, shipping, and complete your listing. Other enhancements to support the trading card community: improving returns. Trading card sellers are no longer required to offer returns in order to qualify for Top Rated Plus, which gives sellers a 10% discount, badging, and additional eBay protections. Low-cost shipping items. Securely ship raw trading cards priced at $20 and under using the eBay standard for less than $1, tracking included. Buyer's protection and seller's protection. Also coming, eBay is reviewing its buyer's protection policy for trading cards to ensure it protects both buyers and sellers in the category of the high market volatility. I hope they fix something there, because there are people, and this happened to me, but there are people that sell cards, or we saw this last week where we saw somebody sold a box of cards. The dude opens the cards, took out what he wanted, put the rest of the cards back in the box, asked for a refund, sent it back to the guy, and eBay gave him the refund. Even though the product was opened, stuff was missing, it was complete. And the seller's just sitting there like, okay. Like somebody's had a few too many beverages and somebody's just sitting there picking their pockets.
One, it's clear that eBay needs to hire better, and maybe an expert for this division. But 2, I threw this up to our work chat to say, hey, check this out. And one of my fellow CS agents said, hey, so great, my 2 million Magic the Gathering cards will be happy. I can start to offload some of these, which that's a lot of cards. But he said, and I quote, "That's also mostly eBay is trying to aggressively pursue the Magic the Gathering market as Channel Fireball, likely the biggest retailer within the U.S., is creating their own Magic the Gathering marketplace, similar to TCG Player in Q2 of this year, and is going head-to-head with TCG Player. So while CFE and TCG Player go head-to-head, eBay wants a piece of the pie as well." That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. I mean, it'd be nice to be able to scan a picture and put it up and have the stuff, pre-populated, and it's easier to list singles that way. So I'll be interested to see. I'll probably try it out and use it, and, we'll let you know.
Time saving.
They talked about the standard envelopes. Our buddy Bo at 1 Million Cubs said he received 2 more messages for eBay standard envelope shipments that have been stuck in transit for 2+ weeks. I'm having far more problems with eBay standard envelopes than I am with PWEs with a regular stamp. Now, I can tell you, I've had a couple instances where they got stuck at the local post offices in certain parts of the country, where it left here, left my post office, ended up getting there within a couple of days, but then it sat there for like a week. And interestingly enough, we're going to tie this next one in. At Jacob Bogage on Twitter says, the Postmaster General Louis DeJoy unveiled the largest rollback of consumer mail services in a generation as part of his 10-year plan for USPS, including longer first-class mail delivery times, reduced post office hours, and higher prices. I mean, this guy's just phenomenal. We already saw that they were, taking out the automated sorters and all that stuff earlier last year. So my whole thing is that I there's something that's going on with certain post office. We saw PSA their local got shut down because of too many items coming through for them. But I mean, some of this could be a factor. Also, too, people have said that they're getting cards returned or shipments returned back with not enough postage. My thing is you need to make sure you're weighing it correctly, because 1 ounce is 51 cents, 2 ounces is 71, and 3 ounces is 91. You can't go over 3 ounces, and you can't use certain types of envelopes. And some folks are sending pictures back, and they're not following all those. I haven't had any of them come back where it needed additional postage. But go buy a little scale, a little food scale, a couple bucks. You spend 10, 15
bucks. Well, and
bucks.
I think the General that we were using, 3 ounce. I mean, you can fit 5-10 cards in that.
Yeah.
It's $1.
So just it's interesting. We're going to keep our eyes on all this stuff, but this Postmaster General just sounds like a joy. So yeah, that's what we need is there it's fledgling. There's issues with the post office and
and when he's tripling down, right? I mean, you're raising prices, you're cutting hours, you're closing up. Yeah. They're like $186 billion in liabilities, and he said that they're going to lose like $170 billion over the next decade. And it's like, okay, so you're throwing bad after worse. You're just you're doing exactly the opposite of what you should do to create a positive cash flow. If you want us to use your service more, you don't raise prices, because all we're going to do is look for alternatives. And so as we continue to move forward, everything that he's proposing, as I read it, it's just like, this is the exact opposite of what I would do, or any smart business person would do if you're the CEO of a company and you're that far in the red.
Yeah. The only thing I can see bonus out of this is that maybe we'll start getting less junk mail.
Yeah, okay.
My favorite thing is to watch the people that say, hey, take your junk mail, and if it has the postage is covered, take the envelope and everything they send you, put it back and seal it up and send it back to them. Because then the post office at least getting a little money out of it. So if you want to help out your local post office.
See, that was one of the things that I'd read in one of my was it like the maliciously compliant or something to that effect? Return the envelope that they sent you with a brick on the inside, so that they have to pay the brick cost.
I see Steph doing that. All four corners. Our buddy Frank, our buddy Frank Lubati tweets out, these dudes asking for front and back picks and picks of all four corners on a $2 card. Gotta go. And at Grand Cards, I think has the best ideas. Is thinking that I should start listing, should list cards guaranteeing they will gem, and the buyer must send in the card for grading, and then return the non-gem graded card to me for a full refund of the initial card purchase price. Free graded cards for me. I was like, dude, that's right on, man. Tell them, yeah, I will gem. I didn't. Well, you spent $4 on the card. I'll give you $4 back for that graded card. Just send it back to me.
Well, and that's it. I mean, obviously things are condition sensitive, and people want to buy what they think they're seeing, but that's why there's pictures.
Yeah, and then also too, are you going to really seriously start? Are you looking to grade a $2 card?
Well, exactly. This was my favorite reply. Ignored a message like this on a $1.50 card. Like they want X-rays, a pedigree, lab samples. It's a bit excessive.
And
I mean,
51 or Bowman 51 tweeted out that PSA admitted they're receiving about 2 million new cards every month.
I believe it.
So
because every card is gradable. Everything, right?
But why even bother now? And it's just like, and if the card doesn't get the grade you want from them, you're going to crack it and send it to another grader and so on and so forth. And to me, at the end of the day, it's like, does it even, like when everything has, when it's all, does it even matter? Does it at the end of the day, does it even matter?
So let's ask
people are treating
Nick, are you shooting your Kaprizov off for grading?
No, I don't have one yet.
Well, it's your son.
I don't have any graded. Like I have 2 graded cards, and they're ones I bought at shows that had my photos on them. And I just wanted the card. Like I don't know. We've had this conversation. It's not about me having this gem mint thing. I think the card is cool. Yes. Do I want it in my collection? Yes. I could care less what it's going to grade at. Like, I don't know. I'm not that type of collector. It's not that important to me.
When you see like the Super Bowl odds, the World Series odds, right? The Golden State Warriors were so far and ahead of all their competition for a few years that you're literally having to pay $100 to win 20.
Right.
It's like, that's what it is. It's like, I have to get rid of $100 out of my bank account right now on top of whatever my acquisition cost was for the cards that I'm sending off. And then I've got to wait months upon months to get this back. And now I'm even further. Now my $100 may be devalued against, depending on how the USD works and what its buying power is. Right in the middle of a pandemic, no less. I mean, there hasn't been a lot of movement on the USD, but hypothetically, let's say that there was. It's like how the whole system just seems like, okay, explain it to me like I'm 5 because I'm a smart man and I don't get the thought process. I mean, if you've got a 52 Mickey Mantle, for instance, and you know that it's going to grade well and you're going to make exponentially more money than you would by selling it raw, if for no other reason than to be able to authenticate it. But even that's subjective, right? With all the messes that we've mentioned on this show in the past, I don't trust them to authenticate it any more than I do to give it an accurate grade. But I mean, at what point does your $100 bill? I mean, what makes sense? If I can make $300-$400 off of it, yeah, then maybe it makes sense.
I think again, if it's something like you have 4 or 5 of, and you're going to flip one, like then I sort of get it. And, like for your Jordans, under these things, your Gretzky rookies that are like highly counterfeitable, like things that get counterfeit a lot, like I get it. And there's a need for probably everything. But like for me personally, I don't see the value in it. I don't sell my stuff.
Well, okay.
But
so
if I'm in this to get rich, like you're in the wrong place.
Right.
Great idea here. Piggybacking off Nick's comment. How about the grading companies put out a list of the cards that you can submit?
Yeah, I mean, or there has to be a certain I want to talk about this declared value here in a second, but yeah, I think that it's like if you're in this hobby if you're getting into this hobby right now to get rich, good luck. You're better off like right now if someone came to me and said, "Hey, you have $100,000, and would you rather invest in gold, silver, physical gold and silver, or sports cards?" I'm going to go with the gold and the silver, right?
Mm-hmm. If for no other reason than I could go anywhere in this world, not just in this country, anywhere else in this world right now, and hold up that gold and say, "Give me that for this," and people are going to go, "Yeah." There's a great episode of the Twilight Zone called the Rip Van Winkle effect, where 4 individuals put themselves to sleep for 100 years, and it's cryogenic and they all go to sleep. Basically, I think they rob a bank or something like that with all these gold bricks. And they're like, in 100 years, everybody that was after us will be dead and gone. Yeah, we'll have to say goodbye to our family. But when we wake up, we'll be millionaires. And we'll get away with it scot-free. And of course, the Twilight Zone twist at the end was that over that 100 years, gold bricks are now have zero value, and they're trading this for water because they're going through this desert and they're thirsty. Hey, give me a drink of water, give me a gold brick. And when the final guy dies, this couple finds his body and they're like, hey, you remember when this gold brick used to be worth something? Huh. So they gave up everything that they wanted on the hopes that someday they would be worth millionaires. And to me, I watched that episode and I think of the trading card hobby where we buy this stuff and we're like, hey, someday, man, someday that gold brick, it's going to appreciate in value to where everybody will be envious. And then the rest of us are looking around like, remember Greg Jeffries? Remember this guy? Remember that guy? Remember that? It's like, Jason Dominguez, hey, he's bright and he's shiny and he's new. It's like the girlfriend that you get and nothing can go wrong. Well, remember, some point somebody was tired of her stuff, right? Yeah, she might be pretty on the outside, but eventually she,
Yeah. At some point in time, I wanted to go back and look back at prospects from 20 and 30 years ago and go like, these are the guys we're all after. And okay, what's the percentage of them actually made? And like, if you play Major League Baseball, you're talented, no matter how good or bad you are. If you make it and play a pro sport, no matter if you make it to the highest level of that sport, you have some kind of talent, right? You're better than 90% of the other people trying to play it. But again, there's people that get that, that have that hype, and it's like, oh, you remember that dude? Like, who is the version? Like, okay, so you look and say, okay, hey, like in the last 20 years, we've had 20 number one overall prospects. How many of those 20 guys actually fulfilled and are legit stars, like a Mike Trout? And how many of them are Byron Buxton?
Brady
right?
Aiken.
He made it. Brady Aiken, right? Like how many are, and so I want to go back and kind of take a look at this. So we talked about, PSA only winning, or, the grading companies only grading certain cards of value. Certified Cards has had an issue where he sent his cards. He had two cards. He had a Joe Burrow that was red ice, numbered out of 10, or red ice auto that he sent in to get graded, and a Bowman first auto of Soto, which he sent in into PSA. Well, they sent them to somebody else. So an update on the issue. PSA card still has not been resolved. For those of you who don't know, PSA sent my order to someone else. PSA wants to pay me the declared value, which would be $2,800K for the Soto first Bowman auto and a Joe Burrow red ice that got a 10. The thing is, those cards have gone up since I sent them in, because that's the value he declared on the cards. I wouldn't be able to buy another Soto for that dollar amount, and the last comp on the Burrow is almost 1,000 alone. The other guy has continued to ghost both me and PSA, so I may try to take some legal action against him. Still a sticky situation that's been going on for over a month now, hoping that PSA will do the right thing in the end. The first Bowman Soto auto was the best card in my collection, and they sent it to the wrong person. PSA is a pretty large company, right? Like, why? Like, I understand, like, okay,
against things like this, right?
They should just go buy him the card,
right?
That was my thought. Is I don't care about declared value. That means nothing. That's a snapshot of what something's worth today.
And that was his idea what the card was worth at the time when he sent it in before it got a grade, right? And you're going to lower that expectation just a little bit to pay less on the fees to get your stupid card graded.
And there's only 9 of the Burrows. The Soto, you could go buy another one theoretically, right? If money was no object. The problem is there even another Burrow available? There's only 9 more of that particular one that were made. And it's mine, right? I mean, I was talking to my dad about this when I saw that hit our timeline the other day, and it's like, Rich Klein, Uncle Rich, was giving me a hard time about the 87 Maguires when they jumped 600% last summer. He's like, sell them and then buy them back later. And I'm like, no, these ones are mine. You know how many friends have given me some of these cards that are in those binders? I've gotten from my wife. I've gotten from my dad for Christmases and birthdays. Some of these I had when I was a kid. These ones are mine. That Juan Soto was mine. That Joe Burrow was mine. declared value just means what you could theoretically get for it on the secondary market. Does not necessarily mean that this guy was planning on selling them. I mean, odds are he probably was, but those were his. And again, that's what they were worth the time that he sent them in. If you're PSA, the only way to resolve this is to go buy him those 2 cards again and send them to him, and then give him some more money or something else as a way of saying, whoops, I'm sorry. We just dealt with this with the Panini issue or something like that with the hockey cards and the little girl and the dad who was the lawyer in Philadelphia.
Mm-hmm.
So just
well, if the price goes down on those, so if I declare something as 2,000 and the guy breaks his leg, never plays another thing, and now the card's worth $3 and they send it out, are they going to send me $2,000? Or are they going to be like, it's only worth $3 now? Like, do they get to pick and
right?
choose?
Well, and you had a great point, and that someone else had as well. So if the argument is that you're only liable for the declared value at the time of submission,
say $1 million for everything.
Then stop upcharging customers when they have increases from the time they were submitted to when you finally get around to grading them.
Yeah.
The optics are so bad.
Yeah, it's not good. And again, this is why, like, man, go buy that one touch and go buy some perfect fit sleeves, drop them in there, and be happy.
You remember the streaker at the Super Bowl who put a bet on whether there's going to be a streaker at the Super Bowl? So he pays his fine and he wins the bet and he nets money. So here's what's going to happen. I'm going to send a card at $1 million, like Nick says, and then I'm going to have, they're going to erroneously send it to one of you guys. We'll pay the $1,000 fine and they can write us a check for the difference and we'll split the cost. Life's good and screw Joe Orlando.
Yeah. Under the shelves, our buddy Cardboard Icon sent this over, and I think Steph sent it as well, and from somebody else. But true story, Hot Wheels and Star Wars guys, you see this all the time. 1, hide stuff they weren't sure about. 2, trick employees into thinking they should get more from the back. Folks are ridiculous. So it's a video of this girl
here. Yep.
Yeah, she's going into a Target. So I'll set it up. She's going into a Target, and she's lifting a shelf up, and she'd hid some stuff underneath, and it looks to be like a blaster tray.
Returning to
Series
the field,
1 tops.
slamming shit stuff. And people say that she doesn't chase cars.
No, that is Contenders.
Oh, is it Contenders?
Maybe Hoops.
And that's how it's done.
Yeah. So I worked at Target. I went to Target for a quick second
I gotta
right out of
start
college.
What the hell?
And returning to the field.
Yeah. And there used to be these on like Tuesdays, like the Hot Wheel guys would come in and like legit. It was nuts, and there was always complaints that the guys in the back were stealing them or whatever. But like, yeah, this stuff is, it goes on and it's goofy, man. And like, then I've been at Targets recently where people are lifting up just looking to see if there's stuff underneath the shelving. Like they're taking all the stuff off the shelves and lifting up the bottom to see if there's stuff underneath.
These are trading cards. They're Hot Wheels. Cut it out. I mean, are you serious?
That might mean that you get a box.
I mean, there's some lady at Target right now shopping for purses, and as she's like looking in it to see how wide it's going to be to make sure it's going to fit all her goodies, she's going to find a blaster of Chronicles in there. I mean, are you kidding me right now?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's
anyway,
ridiculous.
I want to bring some humor. It's funny. And
That's
then here we go, buddy.
I think it's pretty creative. It's just like that jailhouse mentality of like the warden's going to find me and I'm going to hide this here or whatever. Shawshank style.
Pack per.
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
You're slowly, because you can only buy 2 or 3 at a time. You're slowly pulling them out.
There was something we saw.
Rationing them a weekly.
Well, she looked like she had a disguise on too. Like,
right.
Was that her real hair or was it a wig?
Really a brunette?
That was, well, no. That was her hair, but it's fake hair. And she was wearing probably like knockoff Uggs. Like she's that girl that thinks she's pretty, but she's really not.
She wants to keep up with the Joneses, but buys Twonkies, not Twinkies.
Steph, can you pull out of the DMs real quick that picture of the the Target where they threatened that you'll be kicked out of Target forever if you hide product. And I'm like, if you get kicked out of a Target because you hit a blaster of Topps Gallery in the soda section to come back later, I mean, dude, you really need to talk to your priest.
If we find a box randomly where it's not supposed to be, no matter where it is, as long as it's something we collect, baseball, hockey, we buy it. Like, it's like the force. Like, something drew us to this thing. Like, way after like Topps Fire was gone, we found the box with the 2 autos somewhere where it shouldn't have been. I just looked at them and it's like, it's a thing. Like, if you find something where it's not supposed to be, you just buy it. We never get anything good.
When I would go and I'd see like the Hot Wheels or whatever, and someone you could tell stashed them, I would then take them and then I'd move them somewhere else and hide them.
Or should just
and then I would
them
hang out back. Yeah, I would hang out and watch the guy come back and be like, freak out that they were gone. Yeah.
Or even better would be like leave a bunch of clues, like directing him to another part of the store. Oh, you made it here. 4 more steps to go.
Yeah. Oh wait, I bought them.
Yeah.
Apologies to the hobby. Our buddy James, Run Good Life, said, I would love to see an outright apology to the hobby from Tracy Hackler and Panini America, pricing first off the line Prizm at such an embarrassingly high price. Even the casual collectors and high rollers figured out this was a disgusting cash grab. So it was a first off the line box of 2021 Panini Prizm basketball. They had to start at $4,500. And at the time he took the screenshot, it was all the way down to $2,416. So it was about $2,000 less. Like, are you first? You're really trying to get $4,500 a bot? Like, that's just like.
Well, no, because if my experience is any different, what's going to happen is the next time it ticks down to that final price, the system's going to lag out. It's going to refresh and it's going to be sold out.
But still, I mean, look, there's 24 minutes left and it's dropped by $2,000 because nobody was buying it at those inflated prices. Like, I mean, there's probably somebody that did, but I'm telling you right now, man, like, again, there in this basketball rookie class, tell me the superstar, the one future like 10, 12 time NBA All-Star, gold medal champion, guy that's going to lead his team to the finals, not even win it, just lead a team to a finals. Tell me which guy that is in this draft. I don't think there is one. Now, there could be a lot of like good 3rd and 4th tier guys. Maybe, hey, he was an all-star 3 or 4 times in this draft. But I don't see like there's not a Luka in this draft.
What did this box go for in like years past? Like, legitimately, what would in a normal non-COVID like, crazy about cards world?
Maybe I want to say like the Luka year was probably $1,000.
Right.
If they even had it.
I look back at baseball when you like had Judge and Bellinger, like stuff wasn't even that high. They're still like normal prices. Crazy.
Yeah, and you had New York and Los Angeles, so it's like,
right. For $4,500, you'd probably be able to have dinner with anybody in that box. You just like, hey, call their agent. I'll give the guy $1,000. You hang out. I'll buy the steak dinner. Like experience.
We know if Jose Canseco was in there that he'd take you up
he would
on
take
that.
you up.
But
and you would want to go to like Taco Bell.
Yeah, that's fine.
If anybody at Panini is out there and you're listening to this episode and Tracy would like to come on, I think we've all had positive interaction with Tracy at one time or another over the years. You're welcome to come on the show and discuss this with us, and we'll give you an open forum to explain the mindset, because the optics of what it looks like is price manipulation, price gouging, and the opposite of predator pricing, that you're literally trying to get into people's pocketbook out of FOMO. That, $4,500, I better buy it because there's got to be something in there, and you'll gladly accept that check, knowing damn well that you're selling that at 300 and 400% over what the MSRP should theoretically be.
Well, they probably, from like the business side, you think they would, they won't ask that price unless they think they would get it, and they would probably just off on their estimation if it dropped that much,
Somebody in a room said this was probably a bright idea, just like when they rolled out that blockchain crap a couple of years ago or last year, whatever it was. And any one smart adult in the room would look at this and go, you know what? We're just being greedy here. Maybe we should offer this at 1,500. If you want to do this rollout, where the price drops, start at 1,500. I mean, right now I get everybody's being greedy and everybody's trying to get as much honey out of the honey pot as they can. But come on. I mean, we really should be promoting. Right now, everybody's excited about cards. Kids are excited about cards, Nick. I mean, you showed your son, other kids in your neighborhood, in your community are excited. That's one LCS in one city, in one state.
Right.
Think about if they could get more cards into I thought like the tops of the class was great, where you had, to go into the LCS and show your report card.
Mm-hmm.
But unfortunately, then just like the whole Pokemon thing at McDonald's, you get chuckleheads out there that are going to figure out a way to manipulate the system. And it happens, we could do a flashback to a time that Big Shep was a chucklehead.
Oh, yeah.
Doing that mini.
But it wasn't breaking the rules, though. I actually had to buy stuff to get there.
You did.
Real quick, I just Google searched 2021 Panini Prizm Basketball Hobby Box. Right now, Steel City has the base box, the regular hobby box, selling for $2,500 on a pre-order or pre-sale. But Blowout doesn't. I think they were waiting for this to close out to see what it is, because now with these first off the lines, that is then gauging what the regular hobby boxes are going to sell for. Because if this box did sell for $4,500, Blowout then is going to sell that hobby box for about $4,000. Because hey, listen, it's almost the same stuff. You just don't get that first off the line parallel. Anyway, let's hop into the question of the week. Our 9-pocket 2000s team. So Nick, we've been doing this. We started with the 80s, the 90s. Now we're in the 2000s. And you're taking a 9-pocket page, and you have to pick a catcher, first, second, third, short, a left fielder, a center fielder, a right fielder, and a pitcher, starting pitcher. No DH, no relief pitchers. You can't have 3 center fielders. You can't have 4 first basemen. It has to fit. It's got to be. And Steph can't follow the rules, but so if you want to think of a baseball team, you can. You don't have to. But here's our teams that we picked. It's kind of like when you're a kid, right? Like you'd have a 9-pocket page, like you're the best 9 guys you could think of, and this is our one for 2020. Steph, who is on your team?
Did I see Nick on there?
Removed from it. So honorary mention, David Ortiz for DH.
There's no DH.
This is my first day.
Out of the way for
DH.
Just let it happen.
Yeah, I'm new here, so this is funny. You two are so mad right now.
There was an episode of Boy Meets World where
where
Corey's dating Sean's girlfriend just to kind of like keep her in reserve, and he's like, and this girl, and then Debbie, and Sean's like, I miss Debbie. He goes, there is no Debbie. He goes, then why do I miss her so much?
So Steph's doing over there. Ben, what's your team?
Okay, so I try to mix it up a little bit. I know that you've done this in the past couple of weeks, Shep. So catcher, I went with Jorge Posada. First base, Albert Pujols was a no-brainer. Second base, Chase Utley. Shortstop, Jimmy Rollins. Third base, I did choose Chipper Jones for the 90s. I brought him back for the aughts. Left field, Manny Ramirez. Center field, Jim Edmonds. Right field, Ichiro. And starting pitcher was Randy Johnson. My word, if you look at some of the stuff that man did in the first part of the aughts, I really wanted to put Pedro, which I know that, not to trump yours, Tim, but I know you chose. And I was like, yeah, Pedro is a no-brainer. And I started looking at Randy Johnson, and I was like, okay. Yeah. Randy Johnson was damn impressive in that decade, despite being on the, after 30. But there was a few close calls. But, again, I was trying to mix it up from your list, which you had already submitted.
And then we have Steph with the all 2000s Twins team here.
Twins. Nick Punto.
I saw that right away. I was like, yes.
First of all, one of mine got changed. I have no idea who it actually was. Shenanigans going on.
It was Derek Jeter.
Thank you.
We there was moratorium. Derek Jeter cannot be picked for this because screw that guy.
He picks Jeter, and so we were thinking, like, hey, who was a not good shortstop in the 2000s? And it came down to Defeli Perez, Jorge Lugo or Julio Lugo, Nick Puntos, who we put on there because he was the twin shortstop at the time. You know,
right. Second base.
Oh, we could have put in Ray Ordonez.
Sure.
All right. But so who's your team?
So, again, honorary first baseman. Then David Ortiz. So catcher Joe Mauer, 3 batting titles, first catcher to ever do it, first in the American League, the most batting titles to a catcher. I could have went with Yachty, but Joe. Albert Pujols at first. I agree with what everyone said. I mean, he literally ended Brad Lidge's career, essentially. Second base, just to be contrarian, I went with Michael Young, local guy here.
That was a good sneaky pick.
Yeah, mid 2000 hits. Great guy. Shortstop went Derek Jeter. Just the shortstop class is just so iffy. Third base, I had to go with A-Rod with a huge asterisk. Hate him. Hate his announcing. Can't stand him. But I mean, who else do you choose? Scott Rowland.
What do you mean you don't like A-Rod when you announce his stuff?
Right.
Tell us how you really feel about the man.
No.
Josh been on shut for years.
Who's your left fielder?
Left fielder Lance Berkman.
He has a new one. It was like Manny. It was like Manny Bonds or Barry Ramirez.
Sounded like some Greg Brady's alter ego.
Because I really couldn't
Timmy
pick one
Brady.
for this. I really struggled to pick one for this because I dislike both. Bonds didn't play the entire decade to his full potential, but at the early part, he was definitely one of the best players in the league.
Manny.
I mean, who else do you go with? Manny, sure. RBI machine. Manny being Manny, that 04-07 run. But also linked with steroids. So I went with a little bit more of a sleeper pick. On. Lance Berkman did play 9 seasons at left. Sue me. Center field homer pick. Torrey Hunter.
Jeff Bagwell.
ESPN highlight reel. Can't go wrong. Maybe with some of his comments. Maybe with some of his comments regarding certain communities. Okay, sure. Right field Ichiro. Wonderful talent. Wonderful person. I would have loved to have seen, had he decided to hit home runs, how many he would have ended up with. And for pitcher, I almost went with Randy to join Ben, but Johan. For a stretch there, he was the best pitcher in the game. Got robbed in the 05 AL Cy Young, personally. And I mean, just devastating changeup.
Not bad
Playoffs
team.
Be down.
My team, I have Mauer at catcher. Like legit. I mean, you look back, him and Posada. There was a little Piazza in there, some Paul LaDuco, but Mauer really stood out above the other guys. Pujols, you couldn't pick anybody. I mean, he was probably the player of the decade. Like he was. You look at the numbers he put up. He was. Like, again, his nickname, the Machine, like he was like creative player, right? Like he was the creative player, and it was just phenomenal. We talked about this guy last week, Jeff Kent. I have him playing second base. And then I have a little Miguel Tejada from the Oakland A's.
Yeah,
Tadaja.
Tajada is how you had it earlier.
So Mickey Tejada on there. I have Alex Rodriguez at third. Barry Lamar Bonds. I mean, just it's Bonds. He like when you watch Giants games and like he gets up there and it was like he was either going to smash it or they were going to walk him. Like that, there wasn't really any other option that he was going to do. I had Carlos Beltran in center. It was a sad day when the Royals had let him. They had to let him go. I mean, because at that point in time the franchise was so terrible, mismanaged, and poor. Carlos Beltran. Dude, all of those guys did. I'm not even worried about and you couldn't like you had to. Everybody had to have Ichiro and Pujols on their team because
I think
like,
those
two.
Yeah, only two no-brainers.
Yeah. And I mean, they came up together in 001 and just dominated the decade.
But right field, Vlad Guerrero Sr. was a good number 2 to Ichiro. But if we were doing 3 outfielders, then Guerrero and Ichiro both get in there. But because we're doing it by position, Ichiro was a no-brainer along with Pujols. I think that's one of those ones where you're filling out your 9. And those two guys are there. And then it's like, again, you could argue Beltran, Edmonds, you could argue, Manram, you could argue Bonds. There's debate at every position, at least 2 deep, if not 3. Or
you could have seen Biggio again on this list too, right? Like, and then I picked Pedro. I had Randy as my pitcher in the last decade, and so I just want to be a little different. And Pedro, I mean, but either way, like, even Schilling, as much as he's a Nimrod, like he was really good in this decade as well. But I think the 3 guys we picked would be like the 1, 2, 3 in any kind of combination you put them in the 2000s. And another guy that's sneaky good that we didn't put on here, Jason Schmidt for the Giants. He was sneaky. He came over with the Pirates in a trade, and he was sneaky good throughout most of that decade. And the Giants were smart enough to get rid of him before his arm fell apart and he went to the Dodgers. So I don't know, Nick, if you have a team or if you have some guys we missed that you'd like to throw in.
I'm surprised Steph didn't have Lou Ford on his team anywhere.
That's Captain Lou Ford to you.
That's right. Oh, that's a good list. Like, your Mauers, your Pujols, your Ichiros, and then the rest are moving parts.
Who's your favorite Twin of all time?
Rod Crew.
Oh, the California Angel. Gotcha. Okay.
Well,
who's your favorite like current Twin? Like, is there a guy that like we should like? Is there a guy on the Twins we should root for just because of who the guy is?
I don't know at that level. I like a Rise. I don't know. I can't.
Okay.
Yep. Sprinkler. Because he's going to hit one over here. He's going to hit one like he's fun. Yep. Stuff's
all right.
I like a Rise a lot.
I agree with you.
Who's your favorite Twin that's not a star, that was just a fun guy? Like, my wife loved watching Mark Ellis at the A's. He was just a guy that was fun to watch for her, and obviously she thought he was good looking too, which didn't hurt. But what about a guy that was just a fan favorite as a Twin?
Well, like for me, like it's the same way with hockey. I'm a big fan of like a skilled agitator pest type bit, like the guy you love that's on your team but you hate playing against. So like in that realm, like not necessarily current, but like I loved AJ Pierzynski.
Yeah.
Because like I remember being in a photo well and he'd walked. Like it was a like 5-pitch walk, and he had said something, and like the whole dugout just got up and was chirping his butt about something, and like, you're not even that good. I'm like, what did he do? Get 25 dudes up out of their seats thinking about not the game, but like him, like this whole psychological bit. So, but like I had this run of like 4 or 5 years of every time I had a favorite Twin, they got traded or left. It was Pierzynski, and then it was Mankiewicz, and then I don't remember the order exactly, but like sort of.
You did well when Pierzynski left, because the Giants gave up way too much because he was here that one year, and he crapped in everybody's Cheerios and then was gone.
Joe Nathan,
right?
Boof Bonzer,
Boof.
Yeah, good old Boof. All right,
so I didn't. Last year I didn't cover a single Twins game at home, so there wasn't a lot of Twins stuff going on. But hoping I get a chance to do it this year, and on paper it's a good club.
Is there a guy I forgot to ask this earlier in Series 2, like a young gun that we might overlook now, but you think that could be one of those that comes back and it's like, oh?
I like Keandre Miller for the Rangers, defenseman from Hopkins, Minnesota. Played at Wisconsin U.S. national team. Like, I don't know. I think it's always going to be a defenseman. Like even like Cale Makar, big numbers, highly skilled, but you got to be a forward, and you got to be this, and you got to be that. Like, I think a lot of these guys are gonna have really steady careers on the back end.
I mean, look at last year's Calder, Quinn Hughes.
Right, defenseman, right?
His brother's okay, right?
Yeah, getting there.
We've been led to believe.
Oh, yes. Guys, any final thoughts tonight before we head out?
Yeah, I do.
You guys for having me real quick. Like I was nothing before I came on your show, right? And then I owe all this to you guys.
Yeah, we dug the gem out of the dirt.
Right. So thank you.
So then the kid's password was what? It wasn't about the cards podcast when they went in there. It was Wu-Tang forever.
Wu-Tang forever.
I see where the loyalties lie. Gotcha.
Right.
Okay. All right.
Nick, I mean, when we first had you on, I forget who said, hey, we should have you on. And
that's Matt Major.
Matt Major, that's right. And once a Cub, and we had you, like, we reached out, you're on right away, and you've been an awesome friend of the show. We love everything that you're doing. And so it's our pleasure to be able to have you come back on and talk a little hockey. And I love seeing clips of you being involved in the action. That's the best.
Thank you.
Yeah.
To round,
Steph, you said
I do have a couple minor things. We did make it home, so there's that.
Neat.
Like 18, 19-hour drive.
Okay.
Did get finally rested. Work's a bit backed up, so we're going to be working a lot the next 3 days. But I did hit at a shop in Kentucky.
you saw our buddy Jimmy, didn't you?
I did. 2021 Donruss, Joe Adell.
Oh, the minor leaguer. I know him.
Indeed.
You know what? He's still going to be good. Dude.
And
Overrated.
Francisco Lindor.
Nice.
Miami.
As an Indian. And then
As a Cleveland baseball player.
indeed. And then he sent me home with this.
Nice. Jimmy's such a good guy.
Oh, he is, absolutely.
Yeah, so we're going to have him back on the show here in a
online,
couple weeks.
He is in person. He actually said he might shoot us a couple T-shirts to wear on the show. So,
Nice.
and look forward to him coming back on because much like Nick, we got to sprinkle him in every now and then. He's a great personality for the hobby.
Also, I remember
so
Jimmy
we're gonna have him
saying
on
that he agrees with everything I say. He said something about it. He goes, we agree. Every time you say something, I agree. So Jimmy has like number one spot. Come on, whatever he wants. Just real
All
quick,
right,
I've got just a quick memo to Tops. Project 70, quit making A's. Stop.
You guys
Cost
can
me
make
a
a twin. I mean, I'll
Or
buy
hey,
it.
you could make a George Brett at some point. I know there's a Posey coming at some point.
Listen, I'll give you my next 3, 4, 10 A's spots to make some of the other teams share the wealth.
I stopped
all.
even looking daily. I figured someone's going to let me know Nick's battery died. So
The Joe Adell card the other day was great because he got sent down to AAA, and then the very next day he gets this Project 70 where he's on the phone. It's like you're taking the phone call to go down to AAA. That's good timing on behalf of Tops.
Last tidbit. From 2020, 2020, Allen and Ginter. Stephen Teft, the tattoo artist.
Those reds are sharp. I got the McGuire, and they're out of 5. Man, all the colors in Ginter Chrome were awesome.
So we picked that up. I had a mail day
Ginter
waiting
Chrome
for me
is
when I got
sexy.
back. I teased this earlier. 3 of 3. I have 1 of 3 already. And number 2 of 10. And I have like 4 of these. So pick up those for my Eats collection. And then Jimmy had these in the shop. Box divider. The idea being that you slip this over the box row. Yeah, this over here. And slip with the camera. And marks your spot.
your cards don't fall over.
So you got like your rated rookies here, your base cards there. Just put a couple in the row.
You know,
Kind of a cool
another
idea.
thing I saw recently is our buddy Ryan, Card Collector 2. Somebody sent these things that they're like these little, they look like little rubber, those little like Live Strong bracelets, but it wasn't a bracelet. it was capped. It was these little caps you could fit on your top loaders. So instead of using tape to ship your cards and taping the top loader to death, you'd put one of these little rubber dealies on the top. So
I got my McGuire coming this week. Should be here probably Friday or Saturday. Thank you, jerk.
It's like a $2 comic.
It is, yeah. I think it cost me $7 shipped.
So that's pretty awesome. I'm gonna have to find Steph. You're gonna have to send me a picture of that so I can see if I can go buy those somewhere.
There's a couple giants, I think.
Not the comics, the box divider thingy.
Oh, sure.
Matt in the chat asked, "Is that a divider, a product, or is it a 3D print?"
It's 3D printed. You can kind of tell on whatnots.
All right, guys. Well, remember we're live every. Oh, you know what? Before we leave, I'm pissed. Okay, so I asked the boys over at Leaf because I want to give them money, which is weird for me to say those words out of my mouth multiple times. Where are the Pro Set cards, dude? Where are the Pro Set cards? You've
Come
really
on,
dropped the
BG.
ball.
Come on, BG.
Like seriously, I got my Trevor Lawrence ones. The other two I bought haven't shipped, I don't believe. And I'm like waiting. I'm like, okay, I'm not like super impatient, but they've released all the autograph versions, but they haven't put the base cards up, and they told us 2 weeks ago it'd be next week, which was last week, and they're still not here. And I keep asking, it's already Wednesday again. I don't know. It's getting frustrating. I want to spend money with you. I want to give you money. I have money to give you. So anyway, can you fix it? If anybody can reach out and say, hey, BG, man, like what's going on? Slide it into the DMs, bud. Let me know. I don't want to be a dick about it, but I want to give you some money because I think they're cool. I think they're really cool. I think it was the smartest idea you might have ever had. Like, that's awesome. And those were out of my mouth. They're like, been over here rooting for the Houston Astros. So,
Yep,
yeah.
but
remember,
you know,
live every Wednesday.
A conceptual idea is great, but it's got to be able to be executed. Come on, BG. We're rooting for you, brother.
Let's do it.
Could this have gone to a nicer person?
Yeah, me.
No.
I'm so glad Mark
Coyle got a foil, rainbow foil of the Satchel Paige Project 70 card, which has pretty nice. Yeah. I love that. That was great. Remember, live every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Pacific on YouTube. Make sure to subscribe and review our show on all platforms. Follow us on Twitter about the cards. Follow Ben at Our Trading Cards. Follow Steph at Junk Wax Twins. You can always follow me at Big Shep. And we might be having a superstar on next week, a big-time breaker, one of the leaders, one of the leaders of the breaking community, one of our former buddies over on a certain hotline might be on. So be on the lookout for that. Please share your hobby stories, great polls, and send your questions our way. Keep collecting. We'll see you all next week.